Greetings and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading. The second is a discussion of the reading, followed by suggested journal prompts. And the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad you've joined us today on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe this podcast wherever you're listening, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Your help here really makes a huge difference in allowing us to spread the word and build a more supportive community as we continue with our self-reparenting. Now, before we get started, I have some quick updates for you. First, I'd like to introduce our Patreon community. Here, for a small monthly fee, you can join us for 3 weekly meetings for additional support with your reparenting journey. On Sundays, we have a meditation group. On Tuesdays, we have a book club discussion. And on Thursdays, we have open topic conversations. You can find out more details about this if you go to the Reparenting Daily website and check out on the community tab. In addition to that, we also have a WhatsApp group to foster more daily connection and support for whenever you need it. And this is a community of fellow travelers from around the world who will always be there when help is needed. It's just one of the many ways that we're building our network of resources that are really going to help support your reparenting journey. For the next update, I'm very excited to announce that I've just released some first books. The first is probably the most important, and it's called the Reparenting Daily Journal. Now, this journal is a daily guide for 365 days of the year. We'll be starting in 2025, and basically each month corresponds to a theme in reparenting, and each week of each month corresponds to a sub-theme of the monthly theme. Now, from the beginning of the year, 2025, each daily episode will correspond with the themes in the daily workbooks. And so you can use this as a guide to work through your reparenting journey to stay focused, ensuring that you cover all of the most critical areas within a year's time. And again, this will be aligning up with the podcast, so you can use both of these to make a more engaging and interactive experience. This is ensuring that you really book progress on your reparenting journey. The next set of books I've written is called Fairy Tales for Reparenting. This is a collection of 3 books that contain short stories or fairy tales inspired from Jungian analysis, mythology, philosophy, and psychology that really is targeted to helping you connect to your inner child. And so these stories are very short. They're not very long. They're written in a very simple manner so that it's not too taxing on you, so you can more easily connect with the joy and fun of your inner child. More interestingly, however, is that at the end of each story, there's an analysis section that really analyzes the main themes and concepts within each story to provide encouragement and inspiration. Additionally, you will find corresponding journal prompts after each story and each analysis section to help you reflect deeper on how the themes of each fairy tale can be reflected and correspond to your own personal journey as you work towards self-expansion. You can find all of these books now available on Amazon, so go ahead and give us a look and give us some support. And as I've mentioned before, this entire process of reparenting and self-expansion is really about growth, iterative change, and continuous improvement. Much like the process of nurturing the bonsai tree, our reparenting journey requires our consistency and care. So many thanks for being here and for supporting this project, and also to committing on your journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is an article from BetterUp, and it's called Practical Ways to Build Self-Acceptance and Let Go of Negativity. Just as a reminder, we're in February, and the theme this month is self-compassion and self-kindness. This is the first day of week 3, that is February 15th until the 21st. And the theme of week 3 is cultivating inner warmth and self-acceptance. Practical ways to build self-acceptance and let go of negativity. Self-acceptance can hold you back in every area of your life. It affects your confidence and can prevent you from reaching your full potential. People with high self-acceptance are more resilient to criticism. They understand that it's okay to accept themselves while working for continuous self-improvement. But what is self-acceptance really? And why are some people more self-accepting than others? How can it help you? And what can you do to cultivate more of it? Let's find out. What is self-acceptance? Self-acceptance is the act of accepting yourself and your personality traits exactly as they are. You accept them no matter whether they are positive or negative. This includes your mental and physical attributes. Self-acceptance is the ability to embrace and acknowledge yourself fully, including your strengths, weaknesses, emotions, and experiences without undue judgment or self-criticism. It means recognizing and valuing your inherent worth, regardless of external achievements, failures, or others' opinions. Why accepting yourself is important. Self-acceptance is the foundation of personal growth and emotional well-being. By embracing both your strength and the talents you find challenging, and the traits you find challenging, you create space for self-improvement without self-criticism. Acknowledging your progress and celebrating your positive qualities reinforces your confidence and resilience. Struggles with self-acceptance often arise from rejecting parts of ourselves we wish to change. However, when you accept yourself fully, you can address these traits with kindness and without judgment. This self-awareness not only promotes growth, but also helps you build healthier habits and improve behaviors. Ultimately, accepting yourself fosters a sense of inner peace and emotional intelligence, enabling you to navigate life's challenge with greater clarity and compassion. How does self-acceptance affect your day-to-day life? Research shows that self-acceptance is fundamental for overall mental health and well-being. The evidence seems to indicate a direct link between low levels of self-acceptance and mental illness. But there are other ways that low self-acceptance affects your daily life, work, relationships, and well-being. Here are 5 examples. Number 1, self-acceptance helps you control your emotions. The lack of self-acceptance can affect the part of your brain responsible for controlling your emotions. This can lead to mental imbalance and emotional outbursts as a result of elevated anxiety, stress, or anger. A lack of self-acceptance limits your capacity for happiness. It also affects your psychological and emotional well-being. It keeps you focused on negative aspects of yourself. And these negative thoughts create negative emotions. By contrast, high levels of self-acceptance are linked to more positive emotions and greater psychological and physiological well-being. Self-acceptance can boost your mood and shield you from the effects of stress and depression. Self-acceptance helps you forgive yourself. Learning to accept yourself helps you be less critical. It helps you create a more positive, compassionate, and balanced view of yourself. According to Dr. Siri Pillay of Harvard Medical School, acceptance and forgiveness go hand in hand. He says that the ability to accept and forgive ourselves causes us to split into different parts. These two parts, the one that needs to be forgiven and the one that needs to forgive, are at odds with one another. Self-acceptance can help you bridge the gap between them, enabling you to forgive yourself for mistakes and move on. This is essential for your well-being, as dwelling on the past keeps you stuck in the cycle of negative thoughts and emotions. Number 3, self-acceptance gives you more confidence. Self-acceptance can give you more confidence in yourself. It helps you understand that your perceived negative qualities do not define you or your worth. When you are confident, you are more likely to take action in spite of your fears. In contrast, the lack of self-acceptance can hold you back and stop you from going after your dreams. Self-acceptance helps realize that failure doesn't define you and is always a learning opportunity on the path to success. Confidence can also give you greater independence. It allows you to make decisions for yourself without needing the approval of others. And self-acceptance leads to self-compassion. According to self-compassion researcher Kristen Neff, self-compassion is important for mental and emotional well-being than self-esteem. Is more important than self-esteem. She describes self-compassion as giving yourself the same kind of kindness you would to a good friend. Anyone who struggles to accept themselves will agree that they tend to be their own worst enemies. Cultivating self-compassion can help you be kinder to yourself when you fall and make you more resilient to setbacks. And number 5, self-acceptance helps you be yourself. When you lack self-acceptance, you're constantly trying to hide, censor, or repress your true self. This can leave you feeling drained. Self-acceptance can help you show up more authentically without worrying about the judgments of others. Essentially, when you accept yourself, you feel free to be your whole self. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. I've only read a portion, so as always, please do check out the article in the show notes to read the complete article. Welcome back. Now, this reading is essential for the process of self-expansion because it emphasizes self-acceptance as a foundational for emotional well-being and growth. Many individuals who are on this journey might struggle with self-rejection, often internalizing messages from childhood that made them feel unworthy, flawed, or not good enough. Reparenting involves nurturing parts of ourselves that were criticized, dismissed, or neglected. And self-acceptance is a key part of this process. By embracing both strengths and weaknesses without judgment, we create an inner environment that fosters healing rather than self-criticism. Instead of trying to fix ourselves to be worthy of love, we recognize that we are already enough. This shift allows us to cultivate resilience, let go of perfectionism, and move forward without being weighed down by the past. Beyond reparenting, self-acceptance is crucial for our overall well-being, confidence, and emotional balance. The reading highlights how lack of self-acceptance gets us stuck in cycles of negativity, affecting our mental health, relationships, and ability to take risks. When we learn to accept ourselves fully, we free ourselves from self-doubt and the need for external validation. This inner security leads to greater self-compassion, the ability to forgive ourselves, and the confidence to show up authentically in our lives. Instead of battling against ourselves, we begin to work with ourselves, creating a sense of inner peace that allows us to move through life with greater ease and joy. Self-acceptance is not about complacency. It's about recognizing our worth as we are, while still growing in ways that align with our true selves. As we move on to the journal prompts today, number 1, what parts of myself do I struggle to accept? And where do I think these struggles originated? How can I show more compassion to these parts of myself? Number 2, how would my life be different if I fully accepted myself, flaws and all? What would I do, say, or feel differently? And number 3, what is one small way I can practice self-acceptance today, especially in moments of self-doubt or criticism? That's it for today. As always, thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves and do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a place where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Just take some time to listen to yourself. Next, be sure that you are taking some time to be with your breath to connect with your body. Don't be disturbed or overwhelmed by your thoughts. Simply allow them to pass. Just observe them. Do not engage with your thoughts. Only be mindful of them passing, as if they are drifting down a river. Use this time to connect with yourself. Whatever time of day you are listening to this, Namaste.